How is it going, everybody? Happy Friday. Nick Marro at DFS here with Smitty in Occupy Fantasy. As always, helping you break down tonight's NBA DFS main slate on both DraftKings and FanDuel. We get a nice 6-game slate tonight on both sites. Really good size, in my opinion. We got some good payups, some value opening up. Excuse me. But yes, Smitty, what are your initial takes going into this slate here? We got a lot to kind of break down.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good slate. Almost sets up like a turbo slate again. We're pretty much done in an hour, which is nice on a Friday if you're not playing the late slate like I probably will be. We're expected to get a pretty big snow slash ice storm here tonight.
Yeah, how much snow are you supposed to get where you're at?
They keep upping it. It started 6 to 8 inches. Now they're at 10 to 12. So I
Okay.
guess no one really knows.
Yeah, and
Which
your infrastructure down south is different than mine. I'm in Boston. We're supposed to get 6 to 12, but we're like, it's kind of normal for us here. But yeah, obviously, when it comes down by you guys, it's
yeah,
definitely.
everything shuts down and people act like they don't know what's going on. Like
I
Walmart's
love it.
already out of everything. It's a mess.
Yeah. Hey, but yeah, hopefully everyone on here stays warm, keeps power on, all that good stuff. Hopefully you're stocked up. But don't take all the toilet paper. Don't take all the water. We got communities to look after here. Shouts out to chat here. We got Ben in here. Cards. Heath. Appreciate you guys being here. He's saying smash the like button. Do that, please, guys. Luke, as always, our man Jayhawk in here. Shouts out to Jayhawk. He'll be running the Discord this evening. Who do we like more, Grizzlies or Thunder? Jose, to answer that quickly, I think it's the Grizzlies. Smitty and I spoke pre-stream. We'll get into that. What up, Occupy Squad? Stay warm. Shouts out to our man Swerve. 8 to 12 here for cards in Missouri. Yeah, guys, keep posting your inches
Not
of
far from
snow.
me.
Of snow. And then we got Luke here up to 9 in West Virginia. And yeah, Jose, I was born in Jersey, grew up there, moved to Mass when I was, I don't know, 12 or 13. But yeah, my sports allegiances were already formed. So I've been behind enemy lines. I moved to Boston after college. But yeah, I'm right in the city here. So yeah, I am the enemy, but I love it. Smitty to go for sure. Continues to crush screenshots every night, man. Let's keep it going here. Another fun slate. First game we have on the board here is the Houston Rockets taking on the Detroit Pistons, two of the better teams in the NBA right now. Houston, no Steven Adams, going to be out for a little while. Tari Eason out here as well. No Dorian Finney-Smith. Aaron Holiday, questionable. Fred VanVleet is going to be out for a while, obviously with that ACL tear. Starting on the Houston side of things, man, I do kind of want to like this team. Obviously, it's not the best matchup here against Detroit, but with Eason out, Jabari Smith's minutes are going to be a bit more secure. Obviously, we could get to guys like KD, Thompson, Sengun. It's tough to pick between them. They're all priced about where they should be. We had questions about Okogie the other night. He did get the start. I think he actually had his best game of the year, which was only 18 fantasy points. So that kind of tells you all you need to know about Okogie. But yeah, man, I think Smith is probably my favorite play here just because of the price. But you could easily make a case for Thompson, Durant, Sengun in that same breath. Not the best matchup. They're priced about where they should be. Is there anything from Houston you're prioritizing?
No, not really. Kind of tough. They're off overtime game where they came up with a loss, but they played a ton of minutes, so kind of hesitant to go here. Except I do like taking shots on Reed Shepard with Tari Eason out. I do think his minutes might be okay, but I don't know. He gets hot shooting, and they still just won't even play him. So he's risky, but I do think he's worth a little more than 5%.
Yeah, only played 22 minutes last night. He's a beast off the bench when they do give him some extended run. So with Eason out, maybe he does get a few of those minutes. Maybe they have to shave off a few minutes of guys like Thompson. I know KD is someone who never likes to play limited. Like he averages almost 40 a game. But yeah, Sengun could maybe see a few more, not a few more, a few less minutes here as well. So obviously different positions, but that could trickle down to someone like Shepard. I do think him off the bench is interesting, especially considering he's the same price of some of the guard chalk we have on the slate. On the Pistons side of things, Cade Cunningham is probable, as is Ronald Holland. Karis LeVert's out, Wendell Moore's out, Duncan Robinson's available. So pretty healthy team here if we're considering everything. Yeah, Cade missed last game. Obviously, Jenkins was the smash play there, but he's back tonight. Not the best matchup for him, but whenever we get him this low owned, I do think he's worth considering. Jalen Duren's minutes have come up. Not a great matchup for him either, but again, at low ownership, there's a ceiling. Other than that, it's kind of tough to get to this team. I will say Tobias Harris does feel a little cheap for what he's capable of, but on a slate this size, with this team kind of healthy, I don't know that we really need to get to him at all. Really, no priorities for me from Houston or Detroit Excuse me. But I do think Cade and Jalen are viable in tournaments. That's probably it, though. How do you feel about the Pistons here at home?
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same. Cade seems fine to me. Duran's probably my favorite play here. Houston's kind of been not that good on the boards. They haven't really been playing their big lineup, so not too worried about Duran. I think he's in an okay spot. The price is pretty tough though to like really focus in on him, but I do think he's a pretty good tournament play.
Yeah, Crab said he reached 20 plus in Boston. If that's true, I'm gonna have to get shoveling going early this weekend. But moving into Boston now, we got the Celtics taking on the Nets. They're going to be in Brooklyn. Boston Celtics, yeah, we talked about this a little pre-stream too. They announced the other day that Derek White was going to be out, but we're sitting here looking at the injury report. He's not on it. I don't know if they just forgot to put his name there. This is one of the early games. We should have this news, but if he's in, it's going to cut into some of this chalk we're seeing for the Boston Celtics. So let's assume he's out. That's been the report. Even if it's not in the injury report, I do think they're going to correct that at some point. If anyone gets that news officially, feel free to drop it in the chat. But assuming White's out, Pritchard and Brown are going to see the biggest bump. Pritchard getting the most ownership, but I'd rather get to Jalen Brown if I can't find the salary. Consistently, he's been outproducing him with White off the floor. I don't think that's a hot take, really, but the field's jamming in Peyton Pritchard here. I do think on FanDuel at 6,500 in your low risk contest, he's kind of a core play there. But on DK at 7K, like I don't know that I need to get to him, especially in a game with one of the lower totals on the slate. I'm very interested in Neemias Queta here tonight. I just think he's a little bit underpriced for what he's capable of. He's been playing around 28 minutes per game, up from what he was earlier in the season. We have him at just 27, but I really do like his upside in this matchup. Sam Hauser's been shooting really well on FanDuel at 4,300. He looks good. DK 52, I probably leave him out of my player pool. And if you can stomach the risk, Anthony Simons off the bench, especially if White's out, it's going to look pretty good here as well. So we need the Derek White news. It's very important. I will say I'm probably going to come in under on Pritchard, over on Brown, way over on Queta. Smitty, how do you feel about the Celtics here?
Yeah, Cade is still questionable, right? Just making sure.
Um, yeah, he is questionable. It's an illness. I guess
Yeah,
we'll need to wait and see on that. I guess it would be Luke
yeah,
Garza starting
it'd
if
be
he's out.
Garza. Yeah. So yeah, I think it is important. Like I think Duran's pretty good, but I do kind of think you want to save as much of your roster spots as you can because Garza would be a pretty good play. And like you said, I think Kata's pretty good, assuming he does play. The Nets have really struggled inside, so pretty interested in either one of those. And then, like you said, I'm Pritchard. I don't know. I don't feel great like jamming in 50% Pritchard. I think on FanDuel you could kind of make more of an argument at his price, but on DraftKings I kind of just think he's appropriately priced. I don't really think he's like a smash value, but he looks okay. Probably going to be underweight as well. Jalen Brown's the one I'm pretty interested in. Going to do more facilitating, and then if you get Kata out, more rebounds to go around as well, plus more usage. Not that Kata has much, but I still think Brown looks really good either way. And then if we do get Kata out, I do think it makes guys more interesting, like Hauser. Even more minutes for Simons if they play some small ball, but just assuming that he's in, I still think Simons is in play. Probably under owned for his ceiling. Like Simons could outscore Pritchard pretty easily. Like that wouldn't surprise me at all, and he's cheaper than him. So I do like mixing in Simons, and then Hauser on FanDuel is worth a mention, I guess.
Yeah, if you look at the game logs, Hauser's been shooting really, really well. I will say this about Brown over the last 4 games, even with White in a few of those, averaging nearly a 45% usage rate, which is absolutely insane. Like we're talking about James Harden on the Rockets with an injured Chris Paul type of usage for Jalen Brown right now. So one of the best pay ups on the slate, and a little bit surprised he's not more popular. And he's not more popular than Pritchard. So I think just getting a ton of Brown here makes a lot of sense. But again, waiting on that Derek White news. We assume he's out. Waiting on Caden news. If he's in, I like him. If he's out, Luka Garza is going to look really, really solid, likely starting at the 5. On to my Brooklyn Nets now, coming off their worst game of the year where they lost by more than 50 points to the Knicks. So embarrassing. And yeah, I want this team to tank, but I don't want them to tank that way. But yeah, tonight they're going to try. Ben Seraph is out. Haywood Highsmith's out. Other than that, they're not really resting anyone. They've played the Celtics a little bit closer than I think people would expect. Especially coming off a loss like that. I do think they're going to be kind of locked in here. I could see this game staying somewhat competitive. But that being said, I really don't have a ton of interest in them. Again, they're usually resting someone like Igor or Porter or Sharp night to night, just kind of quietly tanking. Tonight, they're going to let everyone go. I don't mind mixing in Porter Jr. He definitely has upside here. Claxton, I'm not crazy about because Sharp's available. He's been cutting into his minutes in a big way. Clowney is like a last guy in, fine. Igor, I'm a fan of the player, but not really for fantasy tonight. If I'm playing anything here, it's just Michael Porter Jr. And saying that, I probably don't even get to him. But again, I think the Nets can keep this game close enough that you're going to want to be playing these Celtics. But yeah, Smitty, any love for the Nets here? I don't know that I have much.
Yeah, that's kind of how I am too. I will say the spread is actually smaller than you might think, so maybe we do see pretty good minutes because they could basically play their guys and still probably not win this game. So I feel pretty good about MPJ. I think he's a okay tournament play. Everyone else is kind of just whatever. Cam Thomas does have a ceiling and he's cheap, so I don't mind mixing in like Cam Thomas, but it'd basically just be Cam Thomas or MPJ for me.
Yeah, Cam Thomas is pretty much the Jordan Poole of the East. Like his price keeps coming down. We know he has that ceiling. The coach doesn't want to play him because he doesn't play defense. But yeah, he can spike a ceiling any game if he gets hot. We've seen him score 50 real points in a game before. Obviously, it's a different roster this year. We're not going to see that, but at his price, definitely someone you could mix in. But again, keep an eye on the news for the Celtics. Before we get to chat, let's keep hammering away at these games. We got another game at 7:30 Eastern between the Suns and the Hawks. 232.5 point total here. Suns are going to be favored here on the road. The only name on the injury report is Jordan Goodwin, and he is available. It's interesting. Like, I think there's other guys on this team that are kind of out for the year. So it seems like today they kind of pulled some of these guys that are on the injury report every day. I don't know if maybe that's why Derek White's off. But again, I'm just thinking out loud. Ignore that. Devin Booker looks good here. Obviously, he's in sub 9K on both sides. Pretty good matchup for him. Definitely has a ceiling. Don't mind mixing him in. Mark Williams has been wildly inconsistent, but in the games where he does play well, definitely underpriced for what he's capable of. Coming off a terrible game against Philly, but much better matchup here, in my opinion, against Atlanta. Dylan Brooks, high ceiling for his price. I don't really have much interest in Gillespie or Allen with Booker back and healthy because they're priced where they should be. Also, keep in mind, Jalen Green is back now. Still going to be limited in terms of his own minutes, but he's going to cut into the upside of some of these secondary options. I don't mind Booker. I don't mind Williams. That's probably it for me when it comes to Phoenix. Want to like them more here. It is a great game environment. Smitty, how do you feel about the Suns?
Yeah, I kind of feel the same. I should like them more. Like you said, the game environment's pretty good. They're also getting healthy, so it's kind of hard to really make them a priority. That being said, I do think Mark Williams is underpriced on DraftKings. So I think he looks good. Everyone else to me, though, just is not really great to me. Jalen Green, I think on FanDuel is pretty close to being playable, even with the minutes cap. Like, I wouldn't mind getting a couple percent there because when he's out there, he's going to be shooting. So don't mind mixing him in a little bit on FanDuel, but other than that, I think everyone's kind of overowned. Like Devin Booker, not too excited to get there, but also he does have a ceiling, so I don't mind getting a little bit. But 18% kind of high for him on FanDuel.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while since we've seen the ceiling out of Booker, but he's playing a lot of these slower paced teams Philly, Brooklyn, Knicks, Miami on the road consecutively. They're still on this road trip, but I do think this is the best matchup he's seen on this road trip. So don't mind mixing him in. But again, not really a priority. We have a lot of good pay ups tonight. Over on the other side of the ball here, we got the Atlanta Hawks at home. No Kristaps, no Ricochet. Caleb Houston, does he matter to anyone? I don't know. Nafali Dante, not even sure why I'm bringing his name up, but these guys are on the injury report here as well. But obviously with no KB or Ricochet and obviously Trey Young's traded away, but they got CJ McCollum in the picture now. Last time I took a pretty big stand saying Jalen Johnson was going to be fine. They were giving the ball to CJ because he's the new guy. And sure enough, Johnson went off against Memphis. I like him again here tonight. I think he's underowned. Really good matchup here against Phoenix. No reason not to like him, in my opinion. Absolutely love him as a tournament play. Other than that, I don't know. Like you could mix in Alexander Walker, Okongwu, Daniels, McCollum. I think they're all fine, but man, I do think Johnson's under owned. I think people need to just remember who he was before that West Coast trip because he's back home now. And yeah, it seems like the usage for him is settled. Back-to-back games now over 30%. I expect he continues to crush. So let's play him until that ownership comes up. How do you feel about the Hawks here?
Yeah, pretty much the same. I think Alexander Walker looks playable for sure, and then Jalen Johnson. Those are my two favorite. Okongwu, I think, looks fine. Not really rushing to play him, but he looks like a fine option. But I prefer going to Jalen Johnson, Nicole Alexander Walker. Dyson's price is okay on FanDuel. Don't mind playing a little bit of him, but it's mainly going to be getting over the field on Johnson.
Yes, love that. Definitely with you on that. Quick look at chat here. Shouts out Luke quoting me. Guys, keep telling us your inches. Yeah, you could clip that one, Derek, for the socials. Crab laughing. We got the Spaniard in here. Can tell Smitty's been crushing. Look at that crib. Got the beautiful Zoom background there. Unicorn, good evening. Appreciate you being here, my man. Somewhere that Pritchard will have like 40% usage rate. Is that true? I don't know. We'd have to pull up the games without Derek White. Look at some of the on-court, off-court stuff. His usage has not been as high this season in general as I think people expected because Jaylen Brown has really broken out in a huge, huge way. Like if he's going to see 40%, Pritchard will not. And I don't know how much they're going to be staggering those minutes. I think that's a bit inflated, Jose. I think people are kind of looking at his numbers last year where he was hyper aggressive on the floor. But Smitty, any take on that? Like I do think Pritchard's a good play here, but I feel way better about Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really looked into it, but I know his assist rate would probably go up. But that's I don't know. I don't think he's going to be out there taking a ton of shots. Like still going to be Brown.
Yeah, yeah, and he can get hot. He's had some big games, but according to RotoWire, White is out. I'm going to wait for Underdog or the official NBA not to laugh at you, Unicorn, but obviously we want to just make sure that's confirmed. But I think they're right. I do think White's out. Can we stack Simon, Pritchard, and Brown? Just feels like the usage is there. All three feels a little crazy. I would rather have two than three. I don't think it's insane, Luke, if you love the rest of your lineup, but would probably be a low risk or small field contest you're doing that in. I think I'd rather stick to two. How do you feel about that one, Smitty?
Yeah, probably the same. Like in smaller field, I think it's fine. If you're playing like the fadeaway or something, I probably wouldn't do that.
Yeah. Fast horses with the plug. Yeah, I don't think there's any conflict of interest here. I don't think we're doing any horse betting stuff. So yeah, feel free, fast horses to try to get some looks there. Kada late day downgrade. Yeah, Q tag with the illness. What do we do with Shearman on the Celtics? I do think he's going to start. I don't have a ton of interest, honestly. He's had a few big games, but I don't know. I just don't really see usage for him. Smitty, you?
Nah, I think there's better value on the slate. If we were like starving for value, I think it would be fine. But you never know with Missoula, so he could play 40 minutes or he could play 20.
Yep, Luke saying White's out tonight. Just texted him. JP Mac, what's up with the lineup builder? Still down? It should be up. If any of the guys behind the scenes are watching, feel free to check on that. I do imagine it's going to be up. J Man, what up? Appreciate you. Two center night, and if so, do we pay down? Kind of to be determined, Jose. If Landale's in, maybe, but we got to kind of talk through this when we get to the dummy builds. Remind me. We'll answer that question again. Are we covering the last two games? CA, probably not. Honestly, we got six to get through. We want to get through them in detail, but if you have any questions, we'll try to get to them in reference to those last two. But keeping things moving along here, we got another game here in the 7:30 window. One of the wider spreads on the slate. We got the Kings on the road in Cleveland. 233.5 point total, not bad, but no Keegan Murray for the Kings. We're also going to be without Isaiah Stevens. So Sabonis expected to play tonight, not in the projected starting lineup. I do think he could maybe start again soon. We'll have to wait and see on that. But really, not a good matchup here for this team. I don't really have much interest in any Kings. If you want to save a few minutes, Smitty, I just don't really like Sacramento. Anyone you're getting to?
Nope, I feel the same. Like DeMar and Russ, sure you could play them in tournaments, but I don't feel great about anybody.
Yeah, and if you are interested in Sabonis, we have him in just 21 minutes. I don't really think you can play him right now. Cleveland, a little bit more interesting. No Darius Garland, Sam Merrill, Max Strus. Um, Obviously, a good matchup if this game stays close. Darius Garland's absence does create a little bit of a usage bump for guys like Mitchell and Mobley. But Jalen Tyson projected to start again. My favorite Cav play here. Had a really rough first half last time out. Still got there. in the second half against Charlotte. I mean, he's been playing really well, consistently over 30 minutes. I do think he could be on a bit of a longer leash if this game were to play out compared to some of the other starters. So I feel pretty good about him, and the ownership's low enough on him on DK that I'm fine paying up a little bit more than where he's priced on FanDuel. 5,800 feels great over on FanDuel. And again, guard and forward eligibility is rare. Very easy piece to build around. Model always loves Dean Wade when any of these guys are out. Loves him again here today. I said I wasn't going to play him last slate. Only a 9% usage rate. He still got there, man. 27 minutes, 24 fantasy points. He had 9 boards, 4 assists, a block, and a steal. Wade is usually like 3-point dependent. He wasn't even shooting the ball. He didn't make a single three, and he still got there. So maybe as a value piece at very low ownership, the model's onto something. Hashtag trust the model. Don't mind mixing him in. But yeah, I like Mitchell, like Mobley. I really, really like Tyson, though. Probably my favorite Cavs, Smitty. How do you feel about Cleveland?
Yep. There's a little bit of sticker shock on Tyson, but he's just been doing it, especially since Garland's out. So do like Tyson, especially in this matchup. Donovan Mitchell, I think, looks like a pretty strong pay up. 42%, really aggressive on FanDuel, but overall, I think he looks pretty good. And then the bigs, Allen and Mobley, I think they're both in pretty decent spots. I don't mind mixing them in. Mobley's price has come up, so kind of tough to really call him a priority, but I don't mind kind of just mixing him in. I'll probably be around the field or slightly under. But like you said, I think Tyson's the best. Dean Wade, I guess, if you want to go there. Uh, Personally, I probably won't. But if he kills me, he kills me. Hunter's minutes were really terrible, and he's been kind of bad, so probably would stay away there. Tomlin's actually been pretty good, but on this slate, I don't really think you need to go there.
Yeah, the two guys who would want in a blowout would probably be Tomlin and Craig Porter. Porter's probably going to get a few minutes anyway, so I don't mind mixing them in. We've also seen Proctor and Mance kind of find their way into the rotation. It's funny, we brought up the Ball Bros matchup last game. I'm pretty sure Lonzo got DNP'd, which is a rough scene for the Ball Boys, but it is what it is. Into the next game here, we have the Pacers taking on the OKC Thunder. Thunder missing some key pieces. We're going to start on the Indiana side of things here. Thunder are pretty big favorites here at home. 226.5 point total. Still no Tyrese Halliburton, Quentin Jackson questionable. No Benedict Mathurin, Tavon Peter, or Obi Toppin. Ethan Thomas is probable. He's up from the G League. Not that he matters in a big way. Indy's tough, man. Not the best matchup here, even with OKC missing a few key pieces. I mean, you can mix in guys like Siakam or Nemhard. I mean, their usage has gone up in a big way with no Mathurin. Jay Huff has been very much boom or bust, but those booms have been useful when he is hitting that ceiling. I just don't know that I want to get to this team here. Again, a little bit healthier than they have been, priced about where they should be. Bad matchup. Check a lot of negative boxes for me. Not much love for me for the Pacers tonight. How about you?
Yeah, I'm the same. I'd be pretty surprised if I do play any Pacers tonight. Just kind of tough to get there. I don't know. There's really no one I could key in on. I think Nimhard is probably my favorite if I had to pick one, but still, I'm probably just not going to play any.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. Over on the OKC side of things, no Caruso, no Hartenstein, no AJ Mitchell, Sorber and Topic been out all year. Aaron Wiggins is out. Jalen Williams, the good Jalen Williams is out. The less good Jalen Williams is available, and one of the top value plays in the model here. Projected starting lineup, I'm seeing SGA, Wallace, Dort, Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren. Pretty short rotation here with a lot of pieces missing. The ownership on Jalen Williams is very heavy. Isaiah Joe, Kenrich, Chet, all drawing ownership here as well. I do like SGA. I think even in a blowout, he can get there. I mean, we've seen it time and time again. But yeah, man, kind of a tricky team to piece through. It is a good matchup. The total's high. There's some blowout risk. But yeah, which of these guys are you prioritizing? I think outside of SGA, everyone kind of scares me.
Yeah, the spread's actually kind of surprising with how short-handed the Thunder are to me. I was kind of shocked to see it, but either way, I think SGA looks good. Like you said, one of the best pay-ups on the slate. And then when it comes to the value guys, Jalen Williams should start. It's possible that he don't, and they just run him behind. But as short-handed as they are, I think they're going to run him more as a 4, and then Carlson will be the backup 5, or he'll be the whatever. But either way, I think he looks pretty good. Pretty hard to poke holes in it. And then, yeah, you kind of have a mess. Like they're kind of just short ball handlers, really. Like they're short. AJ Mitchell would be their leader of the second unit. They don't have him, so it's kind of like who do you think gets extra ball handling. Kason could pick it up. Could be Dort maybe, but probably some Isaiah Joe. So it's kind of a mess. But I think like Kason's worth mixing in at his ownership. I'm pretty good with that. And then same with even Dort. I don't mind mixing Dort in, and then Isaiah Joe as well. Isaiah Joe's getting most of the ownership, which I kind of understand. He might even play blowout with as shorthanded as they are. So I think Joe's pretty reasonable. Dort and Wallace seem fine to me. Jalen Williams is probably my favorite spin down though option here, and then Kenrich. We only have him for 24 minutes and pretty comfortable there too. He's pretty productive when he does play. Uh, his minutes, he played 28 minutes last game, 21 the game before, so feel pretty good about 24 minutes. But yeah, I just talked a lot, and I don't know if I really accomplished much, but I think Jalen Williams is my favorite here, and then I'm trying to kind of break it down by tiers. Then I'd probably say Isaiah Joe and Kenrich, and then followed by Dort and Case and Wallace. They would be like the last man in, but that's kind of how the field sees it too. So I think you could take like go over the field on Case and Wallace. Sounds
Yeah,
gross, but
yeah, man. I mean, you're struggling with it. I struggled with it. I think everyone is, and so the field to have so much conviction in guys like Kenrich Williams or even Jalen Williams, I think it's a little bit tricky. I will say this: we have Jalen Williams for 23 minutes. Whenever he plays 23 minutes, he does tend to get over 20 fantasy points, which is kind of what you're looking for at that price, at least on DK. I like him. I don't mind mixing him in, but at chalk, I don't feel great about it. I do feel better about him than I do some of these other guys, though. Like Dort has a ceiling, pretty inconsistent when it comes to his offensive output. Isaiah Joe, I do like, but his usage is down this year. Just hasn't been shooting as much. Kenrich is the trickiest one to me. Whenever I don't play him, he goes for like 30 fantasy points. When I do, he's going to be out there for 30 minutes and somehow finish in single digits. So I don't know. If I could find ways to get away from some of this chalk, I will. I do think Jalen Williams is the safest, so I'm with you on that. Let me ask you this, though. Are you getting much SGA? I do think his ceiling here is kind of interesting.
yeah, playing quite a bit of SGA. Like I said, they just lack ball handling, so I do think he's might get a few extra minutes here, even if he don't play the fourth. Like his 3/4 minutes might be stronger than normal. So pretty comfortable getting to SGA. I think he looks good even with the widespread.
Yep, right there with you, man. One more game now, and then we will get back to chat. I think it's one more game, right? Yep. We got the New Orleans Pelicans, excuse me, taking on the Memphis Grizzlies. Grizzlies favorite at home. This is the highest total game on the slate, 240.5 points. Starting on the New Orleans side of things, Alvarado is still out. Herbert Jones is questionable. He's missed some time. Obviously, no DeJounte Murray. Kind of a healthy team here, but such a good matchup that I do think the Pels are pretty appealing. Trey Murphy has been our guy. He's kind of disappointed us at times this week, but I think with the price decrease now, probably my favorite play here from the Pels. Really do like him here a lot in tournaments, even with Zion in. Other than that, like I want to get to this team more. I'm just not. Smitty, how do you feel about the Pelicans?
Yeah, similar to you, I like this game. I think it's the best game environment on the slate. Game I'm going to have a ton of. I'd like to find some Pelicans pieces to be overweight on. I think Trey Murphy, of course, probably their number one option right now. I think he looks pretty good. Zion, kind of nervous about Zion. I think he has some kind of issues going on, some health issues or something that we don't know about. But I don't know. If he's good to go, I'll assume he is. And I don't mind getting to a little bit, just kind of worried about his minutes ceiling. And then Fears, I think Fears is pretty playable at 4,900. He's volatile, so only in large field tournaments I'd consider him, but I do think he looks pretty good. Other than that, it's hard. Like Bay, he has a good floor, but like his ceiling just hasn't really been there with everyone healthy, so it's hard to call him a priority at all. But overall, I think it's just Murphy here for me.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I love Murphy. I'm going to have him in a lot of my bigger lineups. The price decrease on him is nice. Good matchup for him here as well. I know the shooting has kind of regressed a bit this week, but I think he can bounce back here in a big way. But yeah, this is a team that runs a really deep rotation. Like we saw Micah Peavy have the game of his life last game. Jordan Poole's probably on the trade block. Maybe they decide to showcase him. We talked about this with Kaminga last night. Even though the coach doesn't like him, like coming up to the trade deadline, you're going to see some of these guys get more runs. So Poole is a candidate for that. If Zion is limited or Queen gets in foul trouble, Missy could maybe run into more minutes. But the only play I have any conviction on is Trey Murphy. So I'm pretty much with you as far as the Pels go. Other side of this one, though, I think we're going to be interested in a lot. Grizzlies are going to be without Aldama, Clark, Edie, Jerome. Jock Landale was a late downgrade for personal reasons. Definitely interesting there. No John Morant or Scottie Pippen. The Landale news is obviously massive because if he's in, he's going to look really, really good here. Even coming off the bench with Aldama out, he's been hyper productive. I do like getting to him if we can. We saw Conchar slide into the starting lineup last time. Not much interest in him. But Cam Spencer, probably going to start at point guard with no John Morant next to Cedric Coward. Really talented player, but he's still on a minutes cap. So to me, I like Coward, but again, 44% owned for a guy that we don't think is going to play 27 minutes. A little bit crazy to me. We know he can get there, but at the same time, I think if there's a piece of chalk from this team I'm comfortable getting away from, it might be him. Vince Williams probably going to play plenty of minutes here off the bench. They have KCP as well. You can mix all these guys in, and then we got to talk about Jaren Jackson. Foul trouble is an issue for him. He's taken on Zion on Queen. Maybe he sees that here. But if not, and he can stay on the floor, his ceiling is tremendous. But yeah, man, I think I trust Spencer the most. I want to come in under on Coward, I think, a little bit, just because of the minutes cap. After that, it gets tricky. I'm hoping Landale plays because I love him here. But if not, I think we have to get to even more Jaren Jackson. And name we haven't said in a long time, Olivier Maxime Prosper. Could be the backup center here if Landale does sit, something to keep an eye on. Gigi Jackson, a big off the bench as well, more of a stretch four. But I don't know how big they need to go against New Orleans. So, Smitty, I'm in the muck here when it comes to the Grizzlies. Go ahead and make some sense of this team for us.
Yeah, really like the Grizzlies going against the Pels. So it's value you can feel really good about. Like I'm going to have at least two Grizzlies in every lineup, and I'm pretty comfortable with that. As far as who it is, like Cam Spencer's probably my favorite. Point guard, shooting guard eligible. Looks really solid. The minutes should be there. Uh, I'm kind of leaning that Landale's out just with a late personal is kind of a red
Yeah, it's
flag to
weird.
me. And it's hard. Like if you start with Landale, then you're kind of stuck with a weird amount of salary, which just might mess up your lineup. So personally, I'm building as if he's out. So I'm playing a lot of Jaren Jackson. It don't feel good at all, but he has power forward eligibility. He's cheap, and he's going against the Pels. So looks pretty good to me. Those are my top two options. Like you said, Coward's minutes are kind of rough. Like just take him off the cap. But either way, if Landale's out, I think Coward's stronger for his rebounding upside. So I like Coward more if Landale sits. If Landale's in, I see him as like a neutral play to me, not someone I'm going crazy over or getting way underweight on. But if Landale's out, I think that's the key for Coward to me. Vince Williams looks fine to me. Don't mind getting there on FanDuel. 3,800 is kind of a bad price. He's kind of just going to serve as the backup point guard behind Cam Spencer. So the assist should be there. He's not a great scorer, but he does a little bit of everything. So those are the kind of value plays I kind of like. So don't mind him. Assuming Conchar starts, I think he's playable. I don't even know if he took a shot attempt last time, but either way, I don't mind mixing him in a little bit if Landale's out. Gigi Jackson is someone I do like, and then Jalen Wells too. Don't mind mixing Jalen Wells in, preferably on FanDuel at that price. But Gigi Jackson, I like him either way, but I like him more if Jock's out. Just kind of more to go around for him.
Yeah,
Um,
obviously with Aldama and Clark and Edie out as well, they are very thin in that front court. Gigi Jackson is someone who has spiked massive ceiling when we do see his minutes extended. So he's someone I definitely have an eye on. KCP, we're not talking about him. I think he has a higher ceiling than guys like Conchar, maybe even Wells, just knowing that he could get hot from three. Do I feel good about it? No, absolutely not. But the Pels have struggled defending beyond the arc. So if he gets hot, maybe a few more minutes for him to go a long way. But in summary, we trust quote unquote Cam Spencer. I don't know. Who would be your number two for Memphis? Is it Jackson?
we just got
Jared?
Landale in. Um,
Landell's in, so it's Landell. Love Landell
yeah,
tonight. Forget half
Yep.
of what we just said.
Yeah. No kidding.
Love it. That makes it easy. Let's get to the chat here. Cardwell, are you talking about Caldwell Pope Crab? If so, I think I just talked on him. If not, tell me who I missed. Should we sort by team and pick the highest OF? If you could build a lineup that way, I don't think it's bad, but you got to keep in mind if a team's healthy and they have a high OF index, like, and everyone's priced where they should be, you're not going to find value. Like the guys that you want to find are high in OF index. Um, I don't know. I just don't think you could do it that way. So, I'm trying to talk you through it, but that's probably a difficult way to build. Dan Martin here saying he took Simons on the under before he knew White was out. Hope Pritchard gets more benefit. Yeah, man. I mean, that's a tough under to hold right now, but it could work out. Naismith under. Yeah, he's been kind of underperforming. Good question here from Jose. If Herb Jones is in, how many minutes do we have him for? We have him at 26. I mean, does that sound about right to you?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's good.
Yeah. Sengun against Duran. I'm pretty neutral on it. I think he's fine. Somebody, any take on that one?
He's okay to me. I don't like the fact they just played an overtime game, but
Yeah,
he's all
back to
right.
back overtime game, tough matchup, but low owned, so he makes some sense. Jose getting all the goods here, man. Just get the model, dude. Vince Williams minutes projection. We got him for 23. Appreciate you tuning in here, Tareen. Saying
Kata
what's up,
is
and
in.
Lynn. Yeah. Who else?
Kata, he's available.
Oh, okay, good. So we were lacking center. Suddenly we have Kata and Landell. That makes things a little bit easier. So let's go ahead and get to these dummy builds. Cardwell center on the Kings. I know they like him. Smitty,
Yeah.
any take on him? Like, uh,
Uh,
he
like
could play
on
in a
this,
blowout.
yeah,
Yeah,
on this slate, I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna tell you no. Like you could take some shots.
the game log is beefy.
Yeah, they like
Crab,
him.
good shout on Cardwell. I will say this: like the Kings want to tank, they need to regroup. They're going to try to trade a lot of these pieces. I don't know that they can, but the minutes for this guy should go up. So if you want to play him, he's been crushing. And if this game does blow out, he's going to be out there 3 straight games with 10+ rebounds for Cardwell, which is kind of shocking to me.
Have you
So
ever watched him?
a little bit.
Yeah, he's
I haven't
goofy.
been
He's
watching a
funny.
ton of Kings games this year, if I'm being honest.
No, definitely not.
He's good on defense, right?
Yeah, yeah, he's a good rebounder, good defensively, and then like if he scores or something, he just does something goofy every time. I don't know. He's funny to
Yeah, he's like a
watch.
modern Ben Wallace. Like
Yeah.
not that good on defense, but he's out there to play defense on a team that desperately needs it. So I don't mind fixing it. And maybe I'll watch some of him tonight. League pass. I mean, I'm always tuning in the Nets. But yeah, I need to kind of spread the love sometimes. But let's go into the dummy here. I don't know. Now that we have Landell, are we starting with Landell?
Yeah, I don't think he'll be under owned, but still, I think he's kind of under owned as it is, even with 30% ownership projection.
Yeah, and then let me ask you this: how are you prioritizing Spencer compared to the Boston guys? Like, I think Spencer and Brown are priorities for me on DK. Pritchard's 7K here. I think I do like Cam Spencer slightly more, but feel
Yeah,
free to talk me off that clue.
point per dollar, I'm good with going Spencer.
Okay. Yeah, Jalen Brown, like I said, my favorite pay up, pushing 45% usage over the last 4 games. That's absurd. Throw some names at me, Smitty.
Uh, we could go. Let's see. Do we want to go Trey Murphy or no?
Oh, yeah, I like it.
Go Murphy. Go if we want to play Jalen Williams, the big.
Yeah,
What do we have?
little Jalen. Does he have power forward or is center only?
No, he's center only.
That's
So
fine. We'll
that
still play
is
him.
the hole you could poke in him for sure.
Yeah. Power forward. I mean, Kenrich is cheap.
Yeah.
Hauser's a little overpriced here, I'd say.
Go.
You
There's
pay up.
Vince Williams. We can go Jalen Johnson, but I don't know what that would leave us with.
I mean, these are my 2 favorite payups. We're left with nothing. Probably can't do this,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Yeah, we'd be playing like Shearman and yeah, I can't do that.
Power forward's kind of weak, so I kind of see the Kenrich ownership. So I think we
Yeah,
could probably go Kenrich. Vince Williams is slightly less owned, but I don't feel as good about him really.
yeah. Let's go Kenrich. Hopefully these OKC punts work. I think in one lineup you're going to be forced to play a couple of these guys. Who else at guard? I mean, the chalk's going to be Pritchard. I don't want to talk people off playing him, but like I said, if I'm looking to get different on the Celtics, he's the guy for me. I mean, Tyson, he's overpriced here, but I still like him.
Yeah, Tyson. I think he's good. Yeah, we already have enough OKC, so Tyson's good.
Yeah, let's get Tyson, and then we are left with 6,800 at forward. We'd have to move some things around. Let's do this instead of Tyson. Let's go Jaren Jackson, and
I
then
like it.
see what that leaves us. I don't know. I'm trying to get
What
creative
does that
here,
give us?
but it's kind of gross still.
Yeah. Um, we could go. We could go Coward at guard.
The price, I don't hate it, man. The minutes just like if he's 50% owned, I'll pull him up. Like the ceiling's there. Like if he gets you 35 fantasy points, you're gonna be pretty happy. He spiked that 55-point game here against Philly. This is the only game he's been over 30 minutes. This was last calendar year.
Yeah,
Like I want he's logical play. I don't mind it. Again, I'm just trying to poke holes in chalk always. Like that's the
we
game I play.
could.
But
You could pivot to Simons
yeah, let's do that.
since
Since
we
we're
don't have
not playing
Pritchard.
Pritchard,
Yeah,
Simons is kind of direct leverage. I think that makes a lot of sense. And
I
then, I
like
mean, we got Chet or Porter. I think either are fine. I'll go with my boy. Get some Nets representation here.
it.
And yeah, I still got the Cardwell comment pulled up over Smitty's face. Yeah, I got to watch more Cardwell, apparently. Rocket talking about him as well. Better pay up. I like Jalen Brown over SGA tonight. I think the model is going to have SGA with everyone out, though. But Brown is closer than he usually is. Smitty, do you have a take on that one?
It's pretty tough. I like both of them. I don't know. They're different positions, so kind of just depends what you need.
Yeah, I think it's easier to find guard value than it is forward value. So that's what's putting me on Brown a little bit heavier.
Yep,
How many Grizz are too many Grizz?
four.
I think I don't want more than three.
Yeah, yeah. I originally had four, but that was with Jock out, so I probably changed that to three now.
Yeah,
It
like I
is
trust Jock and
close.
Spencer, and I kind of rotate the others in personally. But
Yeah,
hard to build a line on FanDuel with the chalk. Let's try it. We'll start with SGA. Hard to build with SGA. He's saying, yeah, obviously 11K for him. Kind of tough, but we'll see what we can do here. And again, I do think Pritchard on FanDuel is more of a obvious play just because he's only 6,500. I mean, I
yeah. We
still
could
think
go.
we want to jam Jalen Brown.
Yeah, yeah. We'll probably have to pay down at center with Jock. I figure
Yeah, I do like Jock. Our
Jalen
boy
Williams.
Cardwell's down there, and
Yeah,
but yeah, Jock's still a logical play.
Jock. Jalen Williams has power forward eligibility on
Yeah,
FanDuel.
that's beautiful. And I think Tyson's cheaper over here too, so I'll throw him in.
Jaron Jackson's really cheap,
Yeah, Tyson's only 58. Jaren's only
72.
72.
Power forward.
Yeah. 52 per for a guard and a forward. This ain't bad. We got Brooks's prices come down a lot. I mean, Spencer is the play. And then 4,700 for a small forward. What are we left with? Hunter? I mean, he's been shooting bad. Oh, Hauser's only 43 over here. Like, this
Yeah,
is
it's
pretty damn
weird.
good. Um, yeah, I mean, you could upgrade Tyson, honestly. I mean, you could come off the Pritchard chalk, like we said. Who else would be at center off Lindell? I do like Lindell, but I'm just curious. Kata, if you want to get up to him. But yeah, if you don't trust Jaron Jackson, you think he's going to get in foul trouble, you could get up to a Kongwu. But this is a pretty good build. I think you could get there. Yeah, Tareen, you know I'm a biased Nets fan. I don't mind the spot for MPJ. He's going to see the usage. And coming off a game where they lost by 50, I think they have a chip on their shoulder here at home. Really, really embarrassing game that last time out. Even for a team that's tanking, you can't lose that bad. So I don't mind MPJ at pretty low ownership. Any new news, Smitty, that's come through? Anything we weren't expecting, or we can get out of here? Any
Uh,
last words? Feel free to rap to the crowd.
haven't seen anything. Cade's available. That's pretty much it.
Awesome. Yeah, so some of the guys we weren't sure were going to be in are in. But guys, as always, not only the injury news, but keep an eye on starting lineups. Things could obviously change. But looking forward to tonight, another fun slate. Get in the Discord, Jayhawk going live here right now. Bit of an announcement. I don't think we're doing the UFC stream anymore, but my best bets will be in the daily plug. If you guys get behind that paywall, feel free to at me in there. Happy to talk about fights, happy to talk about NBA. We'll have the guys doing shows all weekend. We got the NFL championship weekend. Just so much going on right now. Golf is back. No better time to become a member at Occupy. Great community. And yeah, we got beasts over here like this man, Smitty. Everyone, though, stay safe in the weather. Keep the power on, all that good stuff. But yeah, hopefully everyone's warm and has a great weekend. But take care, everyone.
Good luck.
Talk to you soon. All right.